Welcome to Millennium Sports World. Today we have brought latest local and international sports stories of tennis, golf, world soccer, cricket and some more sports news. So let's see what's waiting for us in today's sports world. Let's start with latest tennis stories. Novak Djokovic has yet to win a title this season, hasn't even reached a final. His schedule has been lighter than usual, and so has his record, which is just 14-6 entering the French Open. So this is how he framed his outlook for Roland Garros on Sunday. Low expectations and high hopes. And just how low are those expectations? Well, this is Novak Djokovic we are talking about, the owner of 24 Grand Slam titles, including his third in Paris a year ago and more time at number one than any player in the history of the computerized rankings. So his definition of that phrase differs greatly from pretty much anyone else's. It's tough to talk about, it's very subjective. I almost feel a bit embarrassed to say what my expectations are. Anything but a title for me is not satisfactory. It always has been like that, Djokovic said. It might sound arrogant to a lot of people, but I think I have the career that backs it up. Sure does, which is why Djokovic, who turned 37 on Wednesday, probably figures what has been going on this year does not necessarily mean he can turn it on when it counts the most. Novak Djokovic celebrated his 37th birthday with a win, his 1100th career victory at the Geneva tournament. He beat Yannick Hanfmann 6-3, 6-3, becoming the third player ever to reach this milestone. Djokovic, aiming to regain his form before the French Open, hasn't had the best year so far, with 13 wins and 5 losses without reaching any finals. The crowd sang happy birthday as Djokovic celebrated with a cake on court, thanking them warmly. In his match, Djokovic faced a brief setback when trailing 3-0 in the second set due to rain. However, he recovered, displaying his usual strong baseline game and mixing in some drop shots. He will face either Denis Shapovalov or Talon Griekspoor in the quarterfinals. Elsewhere, Casper Ruud, the second seed, secured a quarterfinal spot with a win over Sebastian Ofner. Ruud, a two-time Geneva champion, will next play Sebastian Baez. Alexander Shevchenko will face Flavio Cobolli in another quarterfinal, while Thomas Mahak takes on Alex Michelsen, who upset Taylor Fritz. Naomi Osaka won her first match at the French Open in 3 years. She beat Lucia Bronzetti in 3 sets, 6-1, 4-6, 7-5. Osaka, four-time major champion, struggled a bit but managed to pull through. She made 31 good shots but also 45 mistakes. Osaka had some tough times in Paris before, including being fined for skipping media interviews in 2021 and exiting in the first round in 2022. But now she is back and feeling grateful. She is ranked 134th but is hoping to climb back up. If she wins her next match, she could face top-seeded Iga Swiatek. Meanwhile, Carlos Alcaraz, a rising star in men's tennis, also won his first match easily. He beat JJ Wolf 6-1, 6-2, 6-1. Alcaraz, just 21 years old, is known for never losing in the first round of a Grand Slam. He has had some injuries but seems to be in good form now. Alcaraz, who made it to the semifinals last year, is looking strong again this year. He is someone to watch out for in the tournament. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feed. Welcome back to Millennium Sports World. Now we will have latest golf story. The two-time PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray died on Saturday morning at the age of 30, one day after he withdrew from the Charles Schwab Cup Challenge at Colonial. There were no immediate details on the circumstances of his death, only shock and grief from the PGA Tour and his management team. I am at a loss for words, the PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan said. The PGA Tour is a family, and when you lose a member of your family, you are never the same. We mourn Grayson and pray for comfort for his loved ones. We will hold off on commenting until we learn further details, but our heart aches for his family, his friends, and all who loved him during this very difficult time, GSC said in a statement. Monahan said he spoke with Murray's parents to offer condolences, and they asked that the tournament in Fort Worth, Texas, continue. Murray, who had dealt with alcohol and mental health issues in the past, made a massive turnaround this year and won the Sony Open, hitting wedge to 3 feet for birdie on the final hole to get into a playoff and winning it with a 40-foot putt. He also won the Barbasol Championship in 2017. Now it's time for basketball story. In a big comeback, the Boston Celtics won Game 3 against the Indiana Pacers. Jason Tatum scored 36 points and Jaylen Brown added 24, helping the Celtics to a 114-111 victory. Despite falling behind by 18 points, the Celtics rallied to take a 3-0 lead in the series. Tatum also grabbed 10 rebounds and dished out 8 assists. Indiana played well despite missing All-Star guard Tyrese Haliburton due to injury. Andrew Nembhard stepped up, scoring 32 points and providing 9 assists. Pascal Siakam and Miles Turner each scored 22 points for the Pacers. The game was close, with Jrue Holiday's 3-point play giving the Celtics a late lead. Holiday also made a crucial steal and free throws to seal the win. Haliburton's availability for Game 4 is uncertain as he continues to recover from injury. Pacers coach Rick Carlisle said they will assess his condition before the next game. Now it's time for latest world soccer stories. Southampton clinched promotion back to the Premier League after a one-year exile as Adam Armstrong sealed a 1-0 win against Leeds in the Championship playoff final on Sunday. Armstrong's first half strike at Wembley ensured Southampton erased the bitter taste of last year's relegation from the top flight with an immediate return. Victory in football's single richest match will give Southampton an estimated £140 million windfall due to the increases in match-day broadcast and commercial revenue for clubs who reach the Premier League. Financial experts Deloitte say Southampton could eventually bank 305 million if they avoid relegation next season. While the cash prize is a huge bonus, it is the prestige of competing with Manchester City and Arsenal rather than second-tier minnows like Plymouth and Oxford that fueled Southampton's hunger to regain their Premier League status after a year in purgatory. Southampton, whose only major honour is the 1976 FA Cup, had spent 11 years in the Premier League prior to their relegation. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feast. Welcome back to Millennium Sports World. You are watching latest World Soccer stories. A goalless draw with Real Betis was largely irrelevant, with Real confirmed as La Liga champions and all the European qualification and relegation spots decided. So the evening was about celebrating the 34-year-old Cruz. Toni Kroos bade an emotional farewell to Real Madrid fans at a sold-out Santiago Bernabeu on Saturday as the German midfielder played his final home game after a remarkable decade with the Spanish Giants. One of Real's most successful players of all time, Kroos announced on Tuesday that he will retire after this year's European Championship on home soil. The game was stopped for several minutes as Kroos hugged each of his teammates and his coach. Real ended their La Liga campaign top of the standings on 95 points, 13 ahead beaten rivals Barcelona in second. They face Borussia Dortmund next Saturday in the Champions League final. If Manchester United's thrilling and surprise FA Cup victory over Manchester City at Wembley Saturday was manager Erik ten Hag's final game as their manager, then what a send-off it was. Teenagers Alejandro Garnacho and Kobbie Mainoo scored to lead United to a 2-1 upset of the holders and Premier League champions as speculation swirled about Ten Hag's future. Although the 54-year-old Dutchman told ITV he had no doubt he would be back and has said he has received the backing of the club's owners all season, he was less confident in his post-game press conference. Garnacho and Mainoo were two of United's bright sparks in a disappointing season in which they finished the worst ever 8th in the Premier League era. The 19-year-olds were in fine form at a sun-drenched Wembley, and after the final whistle, defender Lisandro Martinez hoisted a grinning Ten Hag into the air to celebrate. "We are delighted for the manager," midfielder Scott McTominay said. Ten Hag, who kissed the trophy before lifting it in front of the United fans, became the first manager to beat Pep Guardiola's City in a major domestic final and ended their 35-game unbeaten run in open play. "It is a glorious feeling to win the FA Cup final at Wembley," said United co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe. The most successful side in the history of the French Cup, PSG have now won the trophy 15 times, including 7 times in the last decade. Paris Saint-Germain beat Lyon 2-1 in Saturday's French Cup final as Kylian Mbappe kept his last appearance for the club with another piece of silverware. The superstar forward was playing his final game for PSG before an expected move to Real Madrid, but he was unable to add to his club record tally of 256 goals, with Ousmane Dembele and Fabian Ruiz scoring on the night. Dembele and Ruiz netted in the first half, and PSG then withstood a Lyon comeback attempt after the break following a Jake O'Brien goal which reduced the deficit. The most successful side in the history of the French Cup, PSG have now won the trophy 15 times, including 7 times in the last decade and 4 since Mbappe signed from Monaco as a teenager in 2017. The victory allowed PSG to complete the domestic league and cup double in Luis Enrique's first season as coach, although the campaign remains overshadowed by their exit from the Champions League in the semi-finals against Borussia Dortmund. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feast. Welcome back to Millennium Sports World. Now we will have latest cricket stories. Kolkata Knight Riders won their third IPL title by defeating Sunrisers Hyderabad with 8 wickets. Kolkata bowled out Hyderabad for just 113 runs, the lowest ever in an IPL final. Stark, a key player for Kolkata, took 2 wickets for 14 runs. In the batting department, Rahmanullah Gurbaj scored 39 runs and Venkatesh Iyer remained unbeaten with 52 runs. Iyer's quick 50 and partnership with Gurbaz helped Kolkata secure victory with plenty of overs to spare. Kolkata's victory was celebrated by a near-full stadium. They had a strong season, finishing on top of the table with 20 points. Stark's signing was significant, and Gautam Gambhir's presence as a mentor added to their strength. Hyderabad, led by Pat Cummins, chose to bat first but struggled against Kolkata's bowling attack. Stark's early wickets put Hyderabad under pressure, and despite Cummins' efforts with the bat, they couldn't post a challenging total. Bangladesh all-rounder Shakib Al Hasan became the first player to take 700 wickets and score 14,000 runs in international cricket in the third and final T20 international of the 3-match series against the USA at the Grand Prairie Stadium in Houston on Saturday. Shakib, who was 1 wicket away from 700 international wickets, dismissed USA opener Andres Gause to reach the milestone. He surpassed Dale Steyn to become the 17th player to take 700 international scalps. He had already completed 14,000 international runs when he scored a run above 39 against Afghanistan in the final ODI of the 3-match series in Chattogram last year. Now let's have latest auto race story. Charles Leclerc finally won the Monaco Grand Prix after years of trying. He started at the front and led the race from the beginning. It was a special victory for him as Monaco is his home race and winning there meant a lot to him. Oscar Piastri from McLaren came second and Carlos Sainz, Leclerc's teammate at Ferrari, finished third. The race had some drama with Sergio Perez crashing out on the first lap, causing a red flag. Kevin Magnussen has hit Perez from behind, leading to a pile-up involving Nico Hülkenberg. The race was stopped for about 30 minutes to clear the debris. Esteban Ocon also retired after a collision with his teammate Pierre Gasly. Leclerc's win brought him closer to Max Verstappen in the championship standings, with the next race being the Canadian Grand Prix. That's all in today's sports world. Keep watching Millennium Sports World for latest sports update. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for all the TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia, available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with us for all types of informative and entertainment program. Thank you.